I don't know of anyone that would disagree when I say that. The O'Reilly factor sucks. And someone who knows that, probably better than anyone, would be my guest tonight. His name is Steve Senti. I think I'm pronouncing his last name right. He'll tell me if I'm not. Because this is a guy that has no problem at all saying what he thinks and getting his view out there. And it just so happens that him and I kind of agree that the O'Reilly Factor is quite possibly the worst news show ever. Would you agree with that, Steve?
Pretty much.
I wrote some stories about Bill O'Reilly in the past before, and we've spoken before in other interviews, and it seems to me that even though we spoke, it's been 2 years, I think, since you and I had a conversation, your opinions have not changed.
No, not at all. They've probably got more or worse.
Oh, you're more bitter with Mr. O'Reilly, are you?
Yeah, he's as bad as he's ever been.
Well, I thought maybe he'd mellow out after a while and kind of get the picture, and I guess that's not happening.
Now he's trying to stir up ratings by calling liberals traitors every night, saying they hate the troops and all that garbage. It's all just right-wing talking points.
He is something kind of unique unto himself. And I know that you and I had a conversation before in an interview we did a couple of years ago on this subject, just when I first discovered Fox News. And I really honestly thought maybe by now he'd just go away and that maybe Fox News would just kind of run out of steam. But apparently he's still getting some ratings.
Yeah, he still gets 2 million a night, but he's been stuck there for years. His ratings are not increasing at all.
Why do people watch this guy?
Well, I'm guessing 90% of them are just Republicans that agree with everything he says. But I get a lot of hate mail from his viewers.
But I refuse to believe that not like 90% of the Republican base in the United States can actually be that stupid. I refuse to believe that.
I believe it. You should read my emails from some of his viewers.
It's that bad, is it?
It's like they're half brain dead, half mentally retarded.
Wow.
Most of the time, they don't even have the facts. They just go by what he said.
What is some of the worst things that people have said to you in this hate mail you talk about?
Well, I couldn't say that unless this is an X-rated radio.
You can say whatever you want, sir.
Well, I don't want to get into the really bad, but most of them just say 2 words, "you suck." That's most of my hate mail.
Right there. Well, that sounds pretty intelligent and articulate.
And then I reply to a few, and I'll ask them to show me one thing on the website not accurate, and then I never hear from them again.
Wow.
99% of them never write me back.
That's one way to get rid of the haters, I suppose. Bring me some facts, please.
Yeah, just show me what's not right. And, they'll send an email saying everything you say is a lie and liberal spin. And then I say, okay, show it to me. What is it? And then they never show me anything, and I never hear from them again.
Wow. Now, how long have you been running your website, O'ReillySucks.com, for?
Since August of 2001.
So that's like coming up on almost 8 years, or 7 years now.
Yeah, so about 7 years.
Why do you continue to run this site? I know I can see it must take a lot of work. Why do you continue to do that?
Well, I just want to keep people updated on what spin he's putting out and the lies that he knowingly puts out. Recently, he lied about that poll that was taken, where it was only taken in 3 states, and they asked if a person if who could influence their vote, if they were gay or something like that, and he said that the vast majority of people said they would not vote for that person, and it was all a lie. The person what won it was none of the above. They said it wouldn't influence their vote at all. Majority said that. He knowingly lies because he read the same poll I did.
So why do you think he would do that?
He's trying to influence people to vote against Democrats. I think that's the main goal of his show. To put out lies and spin for the right wing. For Bush, he's always defending Bush. I think the main goal of his show is just put out his right-wing opinion and spin everything, try to make liberals look bad so that nobody will vote for any Democrat.
I watched actually some of the shows recently again, which is and one of them I was watching more recently, and I can't say I watched every show. I don't really have that much free time, but
I watch it every night.
The ones I do watch, the one I did watch recently was this conversation he was having about the Brian De Palma movie called Redacted, and his basic argument seemed to me that because this movie depicted a event in which American soldiers did bad things.
Right.
To these poor
killed some girls or something.
Yeah, they raped a girl and killed her, I guess.
And they showed it in the movie.
And apparently Brian De Palma had the audacity to show this, and that American troops might be hurt or perhaps even killed because that Brian De Palma showed this movie, and because of that, Bill O'Reilly wants to bury the movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why he wasn't so angry at the American soldiers for committing the rape in the first place, because it was all based on a true story.
Right, but he don't say that it's not true. He just says that nobody should see it and everybody should protest it at the movie theaters because he don't think it should be shown because it might cause somebody in an Arab country to get mad at us and kill somebody.
Yeah.
But aren't they already doing that?
Well, that was my thought too. I mean, I think it's misplaced anger there. The one thing he did kind of say, to his credit a little bit, he did kind of say, we know that this was a bad thing, and we know that Abu Ghraib was bad, and we know that, some of the things, Bush made some missteps. But still, this movie is vile, and it shouldn't be, no one should watch.
Shut down totally and taken out of circulation. He'll say, it should be shown, but that nobody should go see it. But he just says that so that people can't say, well, you're against free speech.
Right. I guess he's got to cover his ass that way at least.
Yeah, but he really don't want anybody to see it because it makes Republicans look bad because they're in charge and they're running the military, and this happened under their watch.
Yeah.
That's what everything about him is, to defend everything that happens because we have a Republican president. But I guarantee you, if we had a Democrat president, he'd say the exact opposite. He'd be hammering it.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. It's one of those things, to me it was just another example of how little he's changed in the time he's been on, and this is one of those things, it's like watching one episode of The O'Reilly Factor. You've pretty much seen all the episodes of The O'Reilly Factor, haven't you?
Yeah, I watch every night.
Does he ever make a good point? Do you ever find that you agree with him on anything he says?
Very rarely. It's hard to think of anything. Once in a while, but I don't really record of that or document it or anything because it really doesn't happen very often.
It's just so rare you can't really find
He
them.
makes a good point on some of the child molesting stuff, but he's still a hypocrite on that because he'll name a liberal judge and say this guy's a Democrat and this and that. Then if a Republican judge makes a similar ruling, he may mention the guy's name, but he don't say he's a Republican or nothing.
Right.
But in some of that Jessica's Law, I don't have a problem with that. I think that people who molest kids ought to go away for 25 to life. But other than that, I can't think of anything that I agree with him on.
You pretty much think that his show should be off the air, though?
No, I don't think it should be off the air. I just think he should tell the truth and quit being a biased partisan spin doctor for the right-wing party, Republican Party. I don't think he should be taken off the air. I mean, I believe in free speech. I think he should still have his show. I just disagree with his bias, his hypocrisy, his double standards. If you look on my forums page at O'ReillySucks.com, I got forums there, and I did a 6-month study, and I watched O'Reilly every single night for 6 months, and I documented every time he attacked a left-wing or group or a left-wing person, and I documented if he attacked a right-wing group or a right-wing person. And in that 6 months, there was 450 attacks against liberals and 7 attacks against Republicans. 6 months.